Hey, what's happening out there, YouTube family? This is Robert L. Jones Jr. coming at you again with some more Tribal Judah poetry. Tonight, we'll start off with the first poem of the evening. This poem is a celebratory piece that I wrote celebrating, I guess you could say, one of my favorite genres of music, which is jazz music. I love jazz. I listen to jazz a lot. Even when I'm writing new material, I'm always listening to some jazz music. You're talking about like Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, and on and on. So I wrote a piece expressing how much I really enjoy this genre of music called jazz, which in essence, like I've heard numerous times from so many people, is a very unique and American art form of musical expression. And it really is. And I enjoy the music. I don't know if you like jazz out there, but if you do, you know exactly how I feel about this thing called jazz. So this poem is reflective of my love for jazz music. It's entitled Jazz, an All-American Masterpiece. Improvise me some of them ubiquity styling manifestos of boldly manifesting rebel music to mightily hypnotize and mesmerize my melancholy aching psyche of stress and depressed reasoning with their soul-stirring symphonies of psalm-gifted soliloquy that be melodically transcending the cool in me, to get rebirth into a slick and mystical impressionism of some funky blue-noted expressionism, and I'd be swinging on ever so fancy-free within a ragtime and jubilee scene, where my unshackled essence of madly charismatic liberty would be moving and grooving along to the sweetly philosophizing harmonies of happily abstracting tongues and languages, which be singing forth their own phenomenally bebopping multitudes of some scat rapping shooby-doos, and I be beautifully experiencing a fifth dimensional heightening of ganja likening attraction, as my newly rejoicing consciousness be skedaddling high into the hip and radical epiphany of sundry verses and them eclectic treasures of powerfully slick and stone unique diversity in sound that be divinely converting me into the smooth and cultural ritual of a new age representing beatnik dude who is forevermore turned on and strongly intermingled with that magically acoustic and electrifying fusion of an all-American masterpiece that they call jazz. The second piece of the evening is entitled The Never-Ending Culture of Overcoming. In this rather cold-blooded and stone unfortunate circumstance of a chastised man-child's burdensome melancholy of soul, I'd suddenly be realizing in the immediate speediness of some reality-revealing thought that I have been painfully carrying on the overwhelmingly laden weight of many struggling frustrations and the mightily massive cargo of madly cumbersome trials and tribulations, which were unjustly laid like a super agonizing cross of absolutely unbearable torture upon the totally strained and greatly afflicted shoulder blade of this here powers that be defined renegade, who through it all still remains to be exceptionally brave and perfectly unafraid, to simply walk on courageously heroic through every single one of those midnight stained tunnels of integrity trying darkness, and with the infallible heirloom of some purely exquisite wisdom from on high, I would tenaciously ambulate my ready pace of self-encouraging mobilization into confidently sojourning across the toilsome overpasses and show enough troublesome bridges of multitudinous hardships and challenges without number. so that I can ultimately make it to the other side of things where I can hastily exchange my abundantly collected dues of blues-inspired stress and unrest for a righteously rewarding tunic, vesture, and headdress of incredibly enriching honor and some empathetically bad recognition. As a proudly established presence in this world, who is tenderly caressed with that sweetly encompassing essence of the everlasting Father's very best of divinely prizing blessings for my life. And with this faithfully unshakable revelation right in the wide open focus of my inner eyes of mentally stimulating sights, an unfairly chastised son of calamity-bearing misery of spirits has definitely gotten that truly unadulterated claim to no longer be a perpetual victim to the wickedly scourging discipline of a backbone-slashing system of notorious hates, which has its 400-year-old legacy of some bitterly violent infamy, as it wasted no time whatsoever in stringing up my cherished treasure of uniquely created humanity upon a rawhide stinging whipping post of abusive reproof and punitive disdain, because of a never actual and very non-factual philosophy that was crazily reciting the most evil lie, that this brother man is somehow lesser than the other man, and that I got no other feasible plan to exist onward in this decadent land except to naively accept the consciously cutting stripes of being humbly subordinate to both him and his far from superior empire of fatally fallen hostility and strife for life. But with that infinitely strengthening force of some self-loving knowledge so paramount and strikingly profound, I'd quickly be educated afresh to that cool vicissitude of mindful deliberation, as I gradually slip right back into a meditative escapade of redemptive pondering, and I finally get that sacred chance to freely recollect those candid flashbacks of ancestral verity, where encouraging endearments from the beatific throne room of celestial magnificence be let me understand again that I have an ever more sovereign flux of majestically imperial blood, flowing regally clean and traversely royale style in the classy continuity of kingly circulation. So I ultimately got the unapologetic boldness to powerfully prevail over every last one of them racially motivated obstacles of socially illiterate ignorance. And I also richly possess that naturally authentic instinct of some enterprise and survivability, where with undying endurance and the neo-Abyssinian glories of God manifested advancements, this would certainly be one living testimony of brotherly drive and tenacity, who will never again be a chastised man-child with his burdensome melancholy of soul, but instead he shall sensationally reign one day with an invincible rod of conquering iron, and he will supremely rule in that fiery golden awesomeness of a black monarch's triumphant dominion into manness. Thank you so much for listening to some more Tribe of Judah poetry. I hope you like what you heard. I'll come back at you with some more pieces that I've written. And please comment, like, and subscribe. And keep on writing out there, fellow writers. Keep on doing what you're doing as well. Keep on expressing yourselves and let your voice be heard. And I bid you shalom.